Good morning, everybody. It's Kristina Dennis, the Transformational Self-Empowerment Master. And I am coming in this morning with not a new idea. I think I've said that multiple times. Anything that I have come up with or thought, it was a process of many other teachers who poured into me as well as life. So, but this is reaching back to the Love Warrior book that I read. And I watched her again. I can't remember the author's name right now, but the point was, her whole point was embracing the pain is something that if we could conquer the fear of pain, we would just be so much further along and enjoying it. And so I wanted to talk about what has occurred to me with pain, and it's kind of a way to look at it in a different manner, because when I was a child, I had to make up all kinds of stories to avoid pain, to survive pain, to deny it, to disassociate from my body. And then as I left that childhood home at 16 and started out on my own, there were lots of pain, lots of painful situations that continued to occur, as well as the original injuries that I didn't have the skill set to address and to understand. I still was incredibly triggered. I had post-traumatic stress disorder. I would do anything to survive with people, and it made me dangerous to myself. It made me dangerous to be in a relationship with, because I wasn't able to really show up and be honest. And that's why I do this work now with lots and lots of people, because if I hadn't had the painful moments to embrace, if I hadn't had the pain that my childhood had brought me through, if I didn't have alcoholism to overcome, I would never have found the places that I found in order to seek truth and in order to learn how to love myself. So I appreciate all of this, and I appreciate your pain. And I know it's really hard in the beginning to say, okay, I'm gonna embrace this pain, but it's so important to change your mindset. And so this is what I came up with. All of us understand what it feels like to have pain in our body. We all understand that when we're exercising or lifting weights, that we're actually tearing down muscles to have them build again. And tearing down muscles doesn't feel good, right? But very few of us feel like we're going to die if we have a really good workout, or we're sore from doing some physical activity. Most of us can go, okay, this is all right, I'll survive. It's not the same with emotional pain, and that is what is brought through in the Love Warrior and through all kinds of my own experiences, is that the beauty in the pain is what it does to transform you and what it has done to transform me. And so if I could associate pain, emotional pain, not trauma, emotional pain. Trauma is something we have to do. We have to get through it. If we've had trauma in our life, we have to work on it in order to live a fulfilled life, in order to not distract ourselves or pick up destructive behaviors so that we can avoid the work. We have to get through it. And so when we are dealing with emotional pain that's happening, so much shenanigans. I'll just do a March 17th reference. I have so many shenanigans. I used to have so many shenanigans. I want to be clear that I have learned how to have a skill set, and have learned how to increase my faith, and have built the muscles of emotions so that I understand that the emotional pain is not going to kill me. And if I feel that way for a few seconds, it's okay too, because I have all of these activities and all this this group of people behind me, as well as resources and lots of history. One of my favorite memes is, as I look back on my life, my track record for making it through things is 100%. And that is true for all of us, right? Most of us make it through. And, I'm not going to discount depression or painful feelings. Everybody knows that I believe that you have to address them, and that the most important thing is to do it in a loving manner with loving people who are safe. But if I could and do think about the emotional pain as I did and do with exercise and physical strength and gaining physical strength, then I can embrace it a little bit better. I can also understand, and I want you to understand, that I will get through it. You will get through it. And in fact, what it does is it puts me in a better position, and has put me in a better position to understand people, to have deeper connections, to have preparation for when, one of the most painful things that ever happened to me, and it happened, I'm going to say to me, because I'm not going to shame myself for using that kind of language, was when my son was diagnosed with autism. That is the master degree in pain. If you're a parent, you know this. And one of the hardest things to wrap my head around is that my job is to teach my son, Billy, that he can make it through pain too. And that he is strong, and he has the ability to change, and he can learn anything he needs to learn, despite the circumstances that he's been handed, despite deficits in his speech, despite his body signals being confusing. And he needed me to do that. And part of what I talk about on transformational self-empowerment and in my public speaking is accepting the unacceptable. And yes, it's unacceptable that my child has to struggle. But it was unacceptable that I had to struggle at the level I had to struggle. It was unacceptable that he will have to struggle at the level he has to struggle. But my job is to tell him he can do it. My job is to show him he can do it by me doing it. And so I want to take a moment and really implore to you that the fear is the worst part. The pain is not the worst part. The fear that it will take you out, the fear that it will really move you from, the life that you have. Although it was necessary to detach and disassociate from that as a child. And if you have that severe trauma or depression, I'm not suggesting that you dwell on this. It's just an idea that once we have gotten to a place of homeostasis, is what we call it in autism, once we've gotten to a place of, evenness in regards to the things that are triggering us, that it's important to be able to embrace pain and realize that it's only going to build us stronger. Embracing pain is not ignoring it. Embracing pain is not distracting yourself or myself from doing the work. Embracing pain is not dwelling on it every single day. You still have to operate your life, and you've got to come up with your own ability to do that. But it is so much better for me that if I have that fear show up, that I parent myself at that moment, and I take myself down from the ledge by understanding that I've made it through 100% of the time on every tough situation in my life. And I will continue to do that until I am done with this life. So, gosh, that was kind of a heavy subject. Maybe tomorrow I'll be a little lighter. I'm going to go to Phoenix this afternoon and do some filming and give a talk for a group of people that I love. And I will be back in. So tomorrow, I'm not sure where I'll be sending out these messages, but or where I'll be sending them out from. But I will be here. All right, everybody, take care. Love you, Rebecca.